Okay. Sorry about yesterday. I was really sick and actually tested positive for COVID. I got the results to this morning. So whenever I get like really sick, especially because I have small kids, I always like to kind of glare in my. Sorry about that. Anyway, I always like to just test to see what the hell I have. If it's the flu or whatever, I'd like to know. Okay, so this morning, yesterday I didn't weigh in on Monday like I was supposed to, but this morning I weighed in at 244.2 pounds. Um, and I decided, like some weeks I'm gonna measure everything, and some weeks I'm not. I don't feel good, so what I did was just measured my waist, and my waist came in at 43 and 6/8, which is last week it was 45 and 5/8. So that's significant. It's like 2 inches off my waist. I'm not mad about the location of which it came off. I didn't measure anything else. So I measured the waist, and I measured and I just took and I weighed in. So last week when I weighed in, I was 249. Excuse me, point 4. And this week I'm 244.2. So what is that? 249. I mean, I could do the math in my head and all, but why? So that's 5.2 pounds down um, in the last week. I'm not mad about that. I'm not. I'm happy about that. So we have a total weight loss of. I started at 263, so we have a total weight loss of 244.2 of 18.8 pounds. I'll take it. So yeah, so 18 pounds down since I started. This is my 4th week that I began. And let me see. What struggles did I have so I can just tell you? Same struggles that I have been having. I think it's a little bit easier. I know what to tell myself, right? When I start telling myself that I can do something, like have a shot, or usually it has to do with the alcohol. Like it hasn't been food. Well, it has been food at times, but it hasn't been difficult for me to get past the food situation. But like we took the boys bowling this weekend, and the bowling alley has cocktails and food and everything. Food wasn't an issue. I wanted to convince myself that I could have a shot in my soda water, and that wouldn't be a big old deal. The reality is that I cannot have a shot in my soda water, and this is the conversation I was having with myself. Bitch, you can't have no shot in your soda water, because that behavior, you doing something that's not on program, that behavior is what has kept you in your current state. So so just having that conversation with myself calmed my nerves down, and I said, okay, I want something different. So I got to do the thing that's different. And that different thing is uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable for a while. And just moving through all of that is just very difficult. And I'm very proud of myself at the same time, because normally I would figure out a way to make the thing that I want happen. Like I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna do this shot. I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? But the reality is, no, I'm not gonna be okay, because physically, yes, I'd be okay, but mentally, what that would have done is perpetuate this uh this commitment to myself, like this continuous, like It's like if you keep bringing somebody back in your life who's cheating on you. You know what I mean? It's like you just start not trusting yourself, not trusting your judgment, not trusting things about you. So every promise that you make, honestly, oh God, this glare is crazy. Every promise that you make, honestly, is important. The promises you make to yourself. And so I'm trying to rebuild my trust in myself, even if I've never had it, right? I want to trust that if I promise myself something, that I'm going to do something, I can do that thing. And that's discipline and that's consistency. And these two things, I'm telling you right now, have been the bane of my existence. I've had the hardest time being consistent with a lot of things that that doesn't necessarily bring me joy. And disciplined enough to be consistent. So this journey is more, it's so much more than just losing weight. It's so much more than looking better, even though I want to, right? I want to feel attractive. I want to be attractive. I want to wear the things I want to wear and not have to worry about whether or not there's going to be a size that can fit me. I want to live to my potential, like my highest, my highest potential that I can. Can't do that if I keep breaking promises to myself. So it's deeper than that. And so what does that mean for me is that it will bleed off this relationship with myself that is one that is made of trust, right? It will bleed off into other things in my life, holding promises that I make to other people because I've made them with intention, and holding holding them to myself, but being able to see things all the way through, things I know that I want to do. And another thing that I have done is taken a lot of things off of my plate that I can't. For some reason, I thought, oh, you're the ultimate multitasker. You can get all these things done all the time. You can have all these things going at one time. But the reality is, I actually cannot do that. I cannot have a bunch of stuff going on at one time. I'm only one person. I don't have anybody to help me. Okay, so I had to like zero it in and say, okay, what do I want to focus on? What is going to move the needle for me? And let me just say, I don't think I've said this in any of the videos that I've done, but what's moving the needle for me is that I want to be completely an entrepreneur. Like, I want all my income to come from sources that I have created as an entrepreneur. So I invest in real estate. I have a couple other businesses. I have an ATM business, and all that. These are more like semi-passive income. That's what I want. I want to have maybe a few businesses that are semi-passive, so I have to do something, but I don't have to do it every day. It's not a bunch of hours every week or whatever. So 3 or 4 semi-passive income sources. One that I'm doing right now is I'm learning how to trade Forex. And I know a lot of people think Forex is, I don't know what y'all think about Forex, but if it's not in a positive light, most likely you haven't gotten the proper information. So but Forex is actually it's a market that's been around since currency, okay? And it's just trading between currency pairs. And then you can make that spread between the two. So if you've ever left the country and had to exchange your cash for the currency of that country, there was a currency exchange rate. When you leave and you want to exchange whatever you have left of that country's currency back into dollars, it'll be a rate also. And so depending on what that rate looks like, you can either gain or you can lose in that exchange, right? And so it's just so you can have a little bit of information. It's that, right? So I've been going to the gym pretty good. I'm trying not to do too much in the gym, just because, again, with the low calorie intake, it would be really easy for me to start to burn muscle instead of fat, and we don't want to do that. We want to get rid of the fat, gain that muscle, or maintain the muscle. Really, at this point, we want to just maintain it, because as I come down, I'm also concerned with, skin. So I've been watching a lot of transformation videos because they're motivating. I like to watch them, and I'm like, oh man, if they can go from 300 and something pounds to 150, this ain't shit what I'm doing, right? So I watch those because it's very motivating, and it has kind of helped me along the way. So I suggest that if you're going through your own transformation. But yeah, I've been concerned with like having extra skin, so I'm looking at ways of like being able to kind of figure out, to kind of keep my skin tight as possible as I, because I am older now. I've lost weight before, and I didn't have to worry about the skin; it just kind of snapped back. But I don't think that's the case for me now. So I might have to, at the end of all of this, I might have to get some stuff removed. But we'll see. Anyway, it was nice to give you guys an update, and yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys next week. And if anything interesting happens in between time, but I don't think so, because since I have COVID, I'll be keeping my ass in my home or here in my office, but I won't be out and about. So I have oh my god, my office is so disgusting, but I do have a rowing machine. I might go on the rowing machine, and I have a Peloton too. So I'll stay kind of moving my body along the way, maybe taking some walks to kind of keep that blood flowing, So and I do have like also I have a kettlebell, and I have some dumbbells, so I'll probably use those. All right, well, thank you for checking it out. I hope you have a successful week.